We are already deep into 2026. Look around you. Look at your teammates. Look at the players you grew up with. How many of them promised that this was going to be their year? How many of them posted New Year, New Me in January? And how many of them are exactly where they were last year? Or worse, how many have quit? This is what I call the great filter. Every single year, the game of football filters out the weak. It filters out the pretenders. It filters out the kids who like the idea of being a footballer but hate the reality of it. You clicked on this video because you are scared that you might be one of them. You feel the clock ticking. You feel that gap widening between where you are and where you know you should be. Good. Hold on to that fear, because that fear is the only thing that is going to save you. I am not here to give you a list of 10 cone drills. I'm not here to tell you to juggle the ball 100 times. You can find that anywhere. I am here to give you the biological and psychological blueprint that separates the 1% from the 99% who vanish. This video is not a tutorial. It is a restructuring of your entire existence. We are going to tear down everything you think you know about training, about your body, and about your mind, and rebuild it from zero. If you follow what I'm about to say, 2026 won't just be a good year. It will be the year you became unrecognizable. But I have to warn you, what I'm about to share is going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to challenge the way you live. If you aren't ready to sacrifice the things that are keeping you average, click off now. For the rest of you, let's begin. Pillar 1, the dopamine war, reclaiming your brain. Before we even touch a football, we have to fix the machine that controls the feet, your brain. Most of you are fighting a war you don't even know you're in. It is a chemical war. You wake up and the first thing you do is grab your phone. You scroll. You flood your brain with cheap dopamine. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube shorts. You are conditioning your brain to expect instant gratification. Then you go to training and you wonder why you can't focus. You wonder why you get frustrated when a drill gets boring. You wonder why you lack game intelligence. Here's the harsh truth. You cannot have elite focus on the pitch if you have the attention span of a goldfish off the pitch. Football is a game of patience and explosive decisions. It requires a brain that is calm, sharp, and present. But your brain is fried. You're addicted to the screen. You're addicted to the corn. You're addicted to the noise. When your dopamine receptors are burnt out, you lose the ability to enter the zone. To dominate 2026, you must declare war on cheap dopamine. This means you need to become boring. The best players in the world live incredibly boring lives. They aren't scrolling for 6 hours a day. They are sitting in silence. They are visualizing. I challenge you to try this. 1 hour after you wake up, no phone. 1 hour before you sleep, no phone. Watch how your anxiety drops. Watch how your focus on the ball sharpens. When you clear the digital fog, you unlock a level of cognitive speed that the TikTok addicts simply cannot access. You will see passes they miss because their brains are too busy looking for the next distraction. Pillar 2, ancestral biology, the testosterone crisis. Now let's talk about your body. And no, I'm not talking about bench press. I'm talking about your chemistry. There is a reason why players from 30 or 40 years ago looked like grown men at 17, and why players today look like children until they're 24. We are living through a testosterone crisis. The modern environment is poisoning your potential. You are drinking from plastic bottles filled with estrogen-mimicking chemicals. You are eating processed food that is biologically dead. You are staying up until 2 a.m. staring at blue light that destroys your sleep hormones. And then you wonder why you are weak. You wonder why you get bullied off the ball. You think the solution is to go to the gym and lift heavier weights. You don't need a better gym program. You need a biological reset. If you want to explode in 2026, you need to optimize your hormones. Testosterone is the driver of aggression, recovery, and power. How do we fix this? First, the sun. You need to view early morning sunlight. This sets your circadian rhythm and tells your body to produce hormones. Second, sleep. Sleep is not rest. Sleep is a performance-enhancing drug. If you are getting 6 hours of broken sleep, you are training at 50% capacity. You are physically handicapping yourself. Third, real food. If it comes in a package with a barcode and 50 ingredients, it is not food. It is a product. Eat what grows from the ground and what walks on the earth. When you fix your biology, you don't just get stronger, you get an aura. You walk onto the pitch with a different energy. Defenders feel it. Coaches see it. It's a primal dominance that you cannot fake with a gym membership. Pillar 3, the fascia revolution. Fluidity over stiffness. Now let's move to movement. This is where the industry has lied to you. For the last 10 years, football training has tried to turn players into bodybuilders. They tell you to squat heavy, deadlift heavy, build big, stiff muscles. And what happens? You get slower, you get stiff, you move like a robot. You see these players, they look like Tarzan in the locker room, but they play like Jane on the pitch. The secret to elite movement is not muscle, it is fascia. Fascia is the web that connects everything in your body. It is the elastic band. Look at the most graceful players, Neymar, Yamal, Musiala. They don't look like bodybuilders. They look fluid. They bounce. They glide. That is because they are fascia-driven athletes, not muscle-driven athletes. To dominate this year, you need to change how you train. Stop trying to be a hammer and start trying to be a whip. You need to introduce rhythm and bounce into your training. We are talking about plyometrics that focus on ground contact time. We are talking about multi-directional, spinal movements. You need to train your tendons to store and release energy. If you were just pumping iron in a straight line, you are building a body that is useless for football. Football is chaotic, it is spiral, it is reactive. Start focusing on your feet. Your feet are the roots. If your feet are weak and stiff from wearing cushioned sneakers all day, your fascia chain is broken. Spend time barefoot, strengthen your toes, build the spring. When you unlock your fascia, you stop running and start floating. That is speed. Pillar 4, the lucid dreaming and visualization. This next part is going to sound crazy to the average player, but you didn't come here to be average. You came here to be elite. We have 24 hours in a day. You train maybe 2 hours. What are you doing with the other 22? Specifically, what are you doing when you sleep? The most untapped resource in football is the subconscious mind. Science has shown us that the brain cannot tell the difference between doing an action vividly in your mind and doing it in real life. I want you to look into lucid dreaming and deep visualization. Imagine if you could play an extra match every single night while you sleep. Imagine being able to pause time in a dream, look around, and pick the perfect pass. Imagine rehearsing your 1v1 skills against the best defenders in the world night after night with zero physical fatigue. This is not magic. This is neuroscience. If you can learn to control your mental state before you sleep, to replay your mistakes and correct them in your mind, you are getting thousands of reps that your competition is not getting. While they are sleeping and forgetting, you are sleeping and downloading new skills. This applies to your waking hours too. Visualization isn't just dreaming, it is rehearsal. Before you receive the ball in a game, you should have already seen the pass in your mind. The best players are playing the game 2 seconds in the future. Stop playing only with your feet. Start playing with the infinite power of your mind. Pillar 5, the death of the victim, radical accountability. Finally, we arrive at the heavy one, the emotional anchor. If you want 2026 to be your year, you have to kill the victim inside you. I hear it every day in the comments. My coach hates me. My team is trash. I don't have good boots. The politics in my club are unfair. Shut up. Nobody cares. The game does not care about your feelings. The scout does not care about your excuses. The only thing that matters is, are you undeniable? If you are not playing, it is because you are not good enough yet, period. If the coach hates you, force him to play you by being so good that he looks stupid if he leaves you on the bench. You need to adopt a mindset of radical accountability. Everything is your fault. You missed the pass? Your fault. You got injured? Your fault. You didn't recover properly. You got dropped? Your fault. You weren't consistent. When you take ownership of everything, you gain the power to change everything. When you blame others, you give your power away. 2026 will not be given to you. The universe does not owe you a contract. It does not owe you a starting spot. You have to go out there and take it. You have to rip it out of the hands of the player standing next to you. So, here's the blueprint. Dopamine detox.